Luke 23:43. Jesus replied, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Dear friends, I have a question. Why is Good Friday good? Just a few days ago, if you follow the Christian calendar, we met Jesus coming into the city of Jerusalem triumphantly as he rode upon a borrowed colt atop a path of cloaks that belonged to the crowd, with palms waving all around him. A motley crew greets him with the words, "Hosanna, Hosanna! Blessed is he that comes in the name of our God." Hosanna, a Hebrew word, which means save us, rescue us. Save us, Jesus, they shouted. The one who holds salvation in his hand. Save us, Holy One, they cried. Power personified. Justice lived out and loved embodied. Save us, Jesus. The call of Hosanna rang that day and across the days to land in Calvary, in the mouth of one of the so-called criminals who hung with Jesus. He said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." But I'd say the short version is save me. Rescue me. What the other criminal said. You know, the one we'd rather not be. The one who challenged gentle Jesus. The one who said, "Save me." The one who chided him while they both struggled to breathe and stay alive. He said, "Save me." The one hanging like strange fruit along with Jesus, tortured in a public lynching, save me. What about him? The one we'd rather not be? Well, maybe he was just a villain, a bad actor, one who didn't deserve grace or mercy. However, I caution you, dear friends, as we stand in the need of grace ourselves, I caution you to not leave him there. Because if we can't imagine grace for even the other that was on the cross, I'm not sure that you or I stand a chance. Somehow today, the word is asking us to rethink the hell that we send people to build relationship and solidarity with the ones who are often written out and pushed out of our church doors. The ones who end up incarcerated, literally or figuratively, caught up in circumstances without any investigation or scrutiny. What if we reframe what the first criminal said? What if we took the bite out of it? "Are you not the Messiah?" he said. "Save yourself and me too." What if his perceived rudeness and disparagement towards Jesus was actually the anxiety, the frustration, the anger of being black and brown in a society that criminalizes your very breathing, your skin, the mere fact that you exist? What if he had anxiety and anger and frustration because people are worried about who he loves rather than the fact that he is a child of God? Maybe he was on the cross because someone was standing their ground. Maybe he was up on the cross because he sold ancient Lucy's out in front of a storefront, or maybe because he was sleeping when the state burst through his door into the wrong house. In the time of Jesus, one could hang, dear friends, from a cross for murder indeed, but also for simply stealing bread when your children were hungry, simply for trying to feed your family, a crime of survival. It would find you on a cross. In a society that did not even adequately provide for its people. Both of the folks who who hung on either side of Jesus required paradise. And Jesus is requiring us to know that it is our job too. Jesus is calling us to freedom, to equity, to liberation, to acceptance, to abolishing the systems all around us that provide no justice. Yes, we know Jesus was innocent of any crime. We know that he was killed and he didn't do anything, that he didn't say a mumbling word. But as folks living in these United States who know how the systems work, how whiteness works, how white supremacy works, how the industrial legal systems work, why aren't we asking the same on behalf of the so-called criminals on either side of Jesus? Are they truly guilty or just caught? What if Brother Man was simply having a bad day because he was accused of something that he did not do? And he was asking for salvation from the one who had all salvation in his hand. They, along with Jesus, were in the same boat, murdered by the empire, by a police state, just like folks are murdered now. Come on, George Floyd, just like now, no different. Was it fair for any of them? We've watched 13th by Ava DuVernay, and we've read The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Why aren't we suspicious of their guilt? Why do we only pull the story for our individual needs without thinking about what it means for the whole collective and community? Who made the laws of the day? Certainly those in power. Did the ones who hung with Jesus, did they get fair trials like Jesus did? We need, dear friends, a reframed theology. We need a holy hermeneutic of suspicion here, meaning we need to ask some questions because God has need of us. Many of us know people in our families, in our churches and communities, even if perhaps it might be us, our loved ones who are languishing in prisons due to unfair practices. God has need of us. We know poverty alone in this country can get you into prison. We know white supremacy says Black, brown, and indigenous people are more likely to go to jail and get longer sentences. We know the laws are weighted and stacked against communities who are poor and of color. We know this, and still God is saying by way of Jesus that God has need of us to see that the problems we face are ancient and current. Do we think the systems just got started? Supremacist culture is as old as humanity itself. What if they were all hung that day, all truly innocent, and we failed to declare that their lives mattered? Jesus isn't concerned with our punishment, but with the salvation it takes to help us to move into our purpose. Jesus is not interested in sending any of us to hell when we're already, many of us, living in hell here and now. What then is our need for grace and mercy? Jesus is concerned with reinforcing the systems only to control and destroy. Jesus is about breaking them open, destroying, dismantling them, canceling them. Jesus is concerned about you roasting in hell. Beloved, for Jesus is concerned about you rising with him. Today, you might find yourself in a challenge, in bondage, and in a conflict that doesn't seem like it will go away. You might find yourself wrongly accused, ending up on a cross somewhere, or caught in the crossfire of capitalism and oppression. But if you find yourself on a cross, if you find yourself buked and scorned like Fannie Lou Hamer, if you find yourself hanging on a lynching tree, as James Cone might say, cry out, Jesus, remember me. Save me, Jesus, and remember me. Jesus, when you come into your kingdom, remember me, Jesus, when the times are hard and when justice is nowhere to be found and when they take guilty people and give them full trials, but have innocent people laying in their own blood in the street. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom, for paradise is in your hand, as alongside all the power you have. Oh, Jesus, remember me. For this is why it is a Good Friday. Because Good Friday is really God Friday. And wherever God is there and will make it all right. For God always makes a way out of no way. And it means today, dear friends, you may be in a situation where you're asking for paradise to be extended to you. But know that if you are alive, if you are still breathing, there is hope for you today. For it means that if you are alive, God is most certainly alive. For God is not dead. It means God is working on your behalf. It means a change is going to come. It means that weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. It means hold on, help is on the way. It means hold on, you're going to find yourself on a cross, but you're in good company. It means hold on, for God is here and all of life is nigh. For friends, remember that the ones who were truly hanging on the cross next to Jesus aren't so far away. The ones who truly hung on the cross with Jesus, we might know their names. They might have been Mike Brown and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Charlene Lyles. They may have been Tamir Rice and Elijah McClain and Che Taylor and John T. Williams and Manuel Ellis and the countless others who I believe and know are in paradise. So in your sorrow, dear friends, cry out. Remember me. Remember me. And live in the knowledge that with Jesus, paradise is always at hand. Amen and amen.